In today's video, I'm going to show you why you need to start creating more content and the kind of content you need to create in order for you to start making more cash. Now, this is the thing. If you want to share more of the message that God has given you, if you want to replace your income, make more money at the same time, and obviously keep God first, you need to start creating more content. And I'm going to break this down in a simple way for you to understand, right? So when you think about this, most people want more cash. And most people, the kind of people I'm trying to help anyway, they want more cash, not just because they're Ebenezer Scrooge, right? They want to be Scrooge or anything along those lines. They want more cash because that will help them do more of the stuff that they know they need to do. Share the message God wants them to do, right? But obviously, if you don't have as much time, if you've got, for example, like a long work week every single week, and you want to do the things but you haven't got the energy, etc., this is the kind of stuff that Satan sets up in place to keep you bound, so you can't obviously prepare or do the stuff that you want to do. Share your message with more people, basically, in simple terms. Now, this is why you need to create content. And I'm just going to do it like this. This can be a video, this can be a podcast, this can be a blog post, this can be tweets, this can be Instagram reels, this can be TikTok shorts. It doesn't matter. But most people focus on this, but they don't realize that in order to get this, they have to create this. When you create content which is helpful and helps the people that you're supposed to serve, the more you do that, the better it will be, the more likely you're obviously going to make money, which will obviously help you do all the other stuff we've spoken about in today's video. And this is why, if you think about what I've drawn, it's like a cycle. Most people are just focused on the money though, they don't focus on the content. So it's like when I speak to people all the time and they're like, okay, look, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to do this. I'm like, look, you need to create content. And we look at their content and it's non-existent. They don't produce content. Why? Because they think, well, you know what, I'm going to wait for some, what I like to call miracle moment for the money to come, when it's only going to come based on the content. So I'll put it like this. If you look at the amount of content you're producing actively right now, which is helping the people that you are supposed to help, that will be a good estimation about how much money you're actually making. The more content you make, the more money you make. Now, this is the caveat. A lot of people think that means, okay, cool, I'm going to now just start creating loads and loads of content. And you will hear people say stuff like, I'm even saying it to a certain degree today, create content. The reason why most people will say to you, oh, look, just create loads of content, is because they want you to find your voice, find out who you are, etc. Get comfortable speaking and helping the people that you're supposed to help. And the more content you create, the closer you'll get, and the more comfortable you'll get, and realizing, okay, cool, this is the kind of content I need to make. Now, this is the caveat. You want to make content, yes. You want to make more content, yes. But what you have to realize is you have to think about who you're here to serve. Because when you do that, it's like, I've given this example before. Imagine you go into a big room, right? And you hear someone calling your name. Whether you're the only person in that room with that name, everybody with that name is going to turn around and be like, who's calling me? They're going to look towards the sound. That's what it's like when you start creating content which is for your people. So if you think about it like this, most people don't know how to get you to hone in specifically from the get-go or early on so you can start creating content that's going to work. That's why some, for example, of your content will hit and miss, right? Some won't work. But as time goes on, you're going to realize, okay, cool, if you're paying attention, oh, that content worked, this content worked, this content worked, this content worked, this one worked, and this one worked. So what happens as you go forward? If you're paying attention, you now start saying, okay, cool, I'm going to start creating more of that sort of content. And what happens is, when you start creating more of the content which is actually going to help people, you get closer and closer to the cash. And it's not because you're getting closer and closer to the cash. What's really happening is you're actually in a situation where you're helping those people who are in that room waiting for you to call them out. So this video, for example, that I'm recording right now, is calling certain people out. And the people it's calling out, they will realize, okay, yeah, you know what, Israel's speaking just to me, right? This is made just for me. And because of that, you're going to realize, okay, Israel can help me. You're going to watch some more of my content. You're going to see, oh yeah, he can actually help me. And then you're going to see, oh, how are different ways that I can do things which can actually help you, right? This is why content is so important. You need to start creating more and more content, but more and more of the right content. If you're wondering, like, okay, cool, Israel, like, I get it, right? I understand this simple framework you've drawn for me, and I get it, like, but how do I create content when I don't have a lot of time, number one? And also, Israel, well, how do I create content which is actually going to create cash for me? This is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to recommend you watch these two videos right here, right? I'll let you pick which one you want to pick. This video will help you understand how to create content, which I like to say captivates your audience, basically helps them, and creates cash, right? This video right here is going to show you how to create multiple pieces of content when you have a limited amount of time. Go in and God bless.